Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bullseye back again with another comic book haul. As always, I got my budget, like, subscribe, and comment backing board, and also going to remind everybody that we do have 200 subscriber contest coming up kind of soon. Might have started that countdown a little early. So, got a mix of stuff. Going to start with DC. Then Marvel, and I'll have timestamps in the comments so you guys can jump around a little bit. This is Batman 475. This is first appearance of Renee Montoya, who is the new Question in Birds of Prey movies. Batman 579. This is the first appearance of Orca, who is in the new current series Gotham City Monsters. This was when I can't remember whose channel I saw this on. I think it was Strange Blades, or he was talking about how this was kind of after the crash and the numbers were a bit lower, and that it was kind of so it had a lower print on it. It was kind of a cool spec book to cool character maybe. Legionnaire Zero, I've shown this before. I found two of them. I think it's first appearance of XS, who is the Flash's daughter on the TV show. I do not watch the show. By the way, almost all these books came from some new dollar bins that went up that Funny Books gave me the call for. So big thanks to him for the heads up. You probably saw a lot of his amazing finds. So he did get there before me, but had some great finds and a good time digging with him. I don't actually know my Doom Patrol keys. I held a few up, and I'm like, any of these? And he's like, I'm pretty sure that's first Mr. Nobody. And it was. I'm a big Alan Tudyk fan who plays Mr. Nobody on the show. I have not seen the show yet, I'm ashamed to say. So I'll have to check that out soon. Beautiful Michael Turner cover for Superman, Batman, number 10. I hoard this cover anytime I find it. And then we're going to jump to Marvel here. And this is Onslaught Reborn number 1, the variant. This is, I only got it because it was Michael Turner. They actually had the variant covers for like 2 and 3, but they weren't Turner covers, so I left them. And we got What If featuring Planet Hulk. First appearance of Scar, his son. I think it might be like as a baby though. Web of Spider-Man 97 is first appearance of this guy who is Nightwatch, who was going to be in a Spike Lee movie maybe. But I have not heard anything about that for a while. Invincible Iron Man. This is an Ironheart key. I don't know if it's first Riri Williams. That might be a different issue. I think this is like first Ironheart, but I don't even know if they use the name Ironheart in this, but this is kind of the book to get for Riri Williams, who is kind of being spec'd on for future MCU stuff. Battle Scars number 1. Cool cover. But this is the first appearance of Phil Coulson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the first Avengers movie in Marvel continuity. And I think it's also the first appearance of, I think his name is Marcus Johnson, who goes on to become the new Nick Fury Jr. But he's not, so the keys for this run are number 1 and 6. I think 6 is the one where he's like, becomes the new Nick Fury. Grab this one. I mean, I was going to complete the series if they had it, but this was cool because it had Deadpool on it. And I also got number 5. So, and some Annihilation books. These were put back from my buddy, and I didn't have these. Trying to complete this run. Getting close to having all a run, and I think I only need one more now. Young Avengers number 7. I don't think it's a key. I mean, it is a Kate Bishop cover. So, you know, I think all these Young Avengers books are good grabs. I know Batman Beyond is hot, so I grabbed this number 1. This is so cool. Superman and Batman versus aliens and Predator. I don't know if there's ever been a cooler comic, but unfortunately it's got some of this like bad CGI art. But it is, I think, Mark Schultz who did of like Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. I believe it's the same guy. Big fan of that stuff. Okay, so I lied. So there's more DC in here. This is beautiful Batwoman cover for Final Crisis Revelations number 3. I didn't have this issue. I'm trying to complete Final Crisis. And with all the photo covers too. Heroes for Hire number 13. Just grabbed it because it looked like a cool Ant-Man appearance. And Night Stalkers number 1 newsstand with Blade. There it is. Part 5 of the Rise of the Midnight Suns. And I got more keys coming up. I'm just going through my Marvel here first. Black Panther number 4. This is the first appearance of the White Wolf, who is referenced in the post-credit scene of Black Panther. I think this could be a big spec book going forward. Number 44. Sorry, number 47 and 48. I've been trying to complete this run. As you guys know, I've shown it off a few times in the past. I honestly, it's a great run. I think there's a lot of key potential in that run too. Even more than there already is. Marvel's I Have the Camera. I really like this writer. I'm afraid to say his name because I'm gonna butcher it. But Marvel's I Have the Camera 5 and 6, and same guy, Busiek, I'll say, Kurt Busiek, Spider-Man Legacy of Evil. And then this one is a book I have already, but I was leaving. They had a lot of like good Venom, but I had it all. But this one I was like, I'll take another copy. Since it's a pretty high grade black cover and it's glow in the dark, just classic cover. This is Silver Surfer 1/2, and it came with the COA. I think there's a better version to get of it. That's like a foil one. And I had another 1/2, so another 1/2 in here. So I think this is going to go Marvel, and then we're going to go into Indie keys here. So this is the other Marvel 1/2 I have with the COA. This is Silver Surfer Witchblade, but as you can see, it's got Ghost Rider, Wolverine on there. War Machine 15. This is the Time War Begins, part 1 of the Time War. I think it's 3 issues, 15, 16, and 17, where he is kicking Nazi butt. It's awesome. Recommend picking these issues up. It is a flip book too. There's a different cover on the other side if you are looking for that book. And just trying to complete this run. I think this was the last one I needed. This War Machine run is freaking badass. He kills so many people. He starts becoming a machine and like losing his humanity. He can meld with machines. It's so cool. He's so badass. He like freaks all the other heroes out, kind of like Punisher does. I picked this second printing. I love Dark Avengers. I'm actually trying to get all the variant covers for Dark Avengers, the Bendis run. And I have a pretty good amount so far. So this is number 4, the second printing. I'm sorry, wait a minute. Yeah, These are a little out of order. And then I have a second printing of X Factor number 26. Cool cable cover. And this is just a really badass Wolverine run that just recently popped on my radar. He's like fighting through hell and gets possessed, and Mystique calls Ghost Rider and the Son of Satan for help. Pretty cool. And then we're going to start the indies here. We got 50 Girls 50. I'm a big Frank Cho fan. Love this cover. Love this book. I think he did covers for all of them. I'll have to look for him. This is one of the better covers in the run, though, so I was very happy to find that. Very sexy. Black Hole. This is a cool, hard-to-find indie book. This is a first print. I found one other issue from this series ages ago. One is the one to find. Someone showed this ages ago. I almost want to say it was Alex the Comic Quarter, but this would have been a very long time ago. But I remember seeing it and started picking them up whenever I saw them. So happy to get that number 1. And this is the Crow Flesh and Blood. Excuse me, the Crow Flesh and Blood number 1. This is the first appearance of a new crow, a female crow who was pregnant when she was killed. So a little controversial. And you know, if they do anything with the crow in the future, you know, I would not be surprised if we see something like that. Okay, and again, some of these you might have seen on my Instagram, which I will have in the description. I'll have a link to that. I was visiting Boston, and I think it was called the Comic Stop. I ducked into the store and was looking in their dollar bins, and I found this black and white Arthur Adams cover. This is a Graham Cracker Comics exclusive. I think this was like a mail away only. So really happy to find that for $1. Just grabbed this because it was a Friesen cover. I'm not a real big fan of the Grimm Fairy Tales stuff, but if it's J. Scott Campbell or, you know, a good cover, I'll grab it. And this I just grabbed because I'm a huge Garth Ennis fan, and I have a couple issues from this run, so I figured I would grab number 1 because I needed it. And I love Scud. A childhood friend turned me on to Scud. Been completing it from dollar bins. This is one of the earlier issues that I have, so happy to get that. And probably one of the first action figure variants too. I know Marvel's doing a lot of those now, but I bet you that was maybe the first time somebody did that. This was a book, Funny Book saved for me because he knew I'm a big Perillo fan. Warlord of Mars number 1. Happy to add that to the collection. Okay, now we're getting into the horror section, gang. So, well, happy Halloween here, and this is Crossed C-Day edition. Get Infected. I think it's Crossed Get Infected. I'm not actually sure. I think this might be a reprinting of number 1 that was like to celebrate the launch of another Cross series. But it's written by Ennis. I didn't have it, and I like the cover. I'm picking up all the Cross books written by Ennis and a few of the books written by Alan Moore. I try to limit myself by writer and story arc so I don't like go crazy. This is issue 1 wrap, so I needed issue 1. And this cover is insane. This was polybagged. I opened it up because I wanted to see it, and it is absolutely bonkers, and I'd probably get banned for showing it. So, but yep, I needed it for my Alan Moore run of Cross Plus 100. And then we got Evil Dead number 3. I think I found number 1 from this run before. There was a number 2 there, but it was too low grade for Bullseye, unfortunately. Bunch of horror stuff here. Got Ash and the Army of Darkness, #1. Really cool cover. And #2. This is Fright Night 3D, #1. And all of these had glasses in them. I don't know if they're the glasses that came with them. They were in poly bags, but I think the polys were open on 2 of them. And then this is another Fright Night 3D. I'm not really sure of the number. The UPC says #2. So we'll go with that. And also came with 3D. And same with this one. This is #3, I think, or Halloween Annual, I guess. And came with glasses as well. So, big Fright Night fan, trying to pick up all those Fright Night books. And this was a package deal, like a set. I don't remember how much it was, but it was only $1 or $2 more than $1 a book. So George A. Romero's Land of the Dead, #1. This is #2. I think it's a photo cover. #3. I will say I was not a big fan of this movie. I do not like smart zombies. In Day of the Dead, Bub, that was great. That's fine. I think Land took it too far, where there's like smart learning, telling each other what to do. This is a 4 and 5. I think that is the whole series. Some more horror stuff coming up here. We got Plague of the Living Dead, #1. This is the gore cover. #2. #3. #4. This is issue 5. 6, painted cover. And then this is the special, which I actually do have already. Not this cover. So I may trade that to my buddy who, or Funny Books, has been getting into some horror recently, or I may keep it just because it's another cover. But they have so many covers for all those. I am trying to get everyone. The Nail, written by Rob Zombie. This is #3. Puppet Master, I think this is from Volume 2, Issue 11. And Issue 13. Okay, so here we have the end of horror and some video game stuff, and then next is cartoon. We got 7. This is issue #4, Lust, and this is Envy #6. One of these is a double for me, and then one is a new one. I still need, I think, 1 or 2 to complete that set. I grabbed this because it was J. Scott Campbell cover of, that's the vampire Jessica, played by the same actress on Daredevil, played Karen. Okay, and I have to give a big shout out to Strange Blade, because he was recently been showing off some Xbox games he was been picking up, and he showed off this game a little while ago, and I guess it was notorious for being a bad game. So bad, in fact, that they did not make any more comics from this. Was supposed to be a 3-part series, but the game bombed so hard they just abandoned it. So apparently this is a hard to come by comic, and does have a bit of crossover, because video game fans and comic fans want it. And I could only find one on eBay and Amazon, and they were both about $99, something like that. Not sure if that's actually what it goes for, but yeah, so was happy to find those. I'm going to trade one of these to Strange for sure. I've just been so busy. I got to hit him up about that. So expect that soon, bud. And Infamous, I think I showed number 6 in one of my last hauls, and I found 2 and 5. That's from a cool video game. Alright, so next we got cartoons. We got Animaniacs number 1. And I always get this confused if this is the first appearance of Pinky and the Brain or not. I think it might be the Christmas one that is first Pinky and the Brain. But it's my second copy, and it had a couple of ticks, but figured I'd grab it anyway. Some nice clean copies of Defenders of Dynatron City. Number 3 and 4. Digimon number 7. I don't know why I grabbed this. I guess just nostalgia. And G.I. Joe, trying to complete this run. Happy to find. They actually had a bunch, but they were all a little too beat up for my taste. But I was able to find this one. This was 118. We got Mad Balls. This is not an old book. I think it's from 2016, but I love Mad Balls. I love the cover art. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Masters of the Universe. I think this was pre-image. This MVC Creation, or MV Creations, it looks like is the name of the company there. So I have another book from that run. Trying to complete it. Getting close to the end. Hey. Roger Rabbit number 7. I'm just getting pretty close to completing this run. Didn't have this one. Transformers Generation 2. These books, honestly, have been hard to find for me in decent grade, so I was happy to find number 7 and number 9. I got some movie adaptation stuff. This was a funny movie with Andrew Dice Clay, as you can see in the corner there. I think it was a 4-parter, and this was the only one I needed. And then a nice newsstand copy of Bill and Ted's Excellent Comic Book, number 2. Some more, couple more movie books. Got Ghostbusters number 3 from this, I guess, 88 miles per hour comics. This is Mad Max Fury Road, Nux and Immortan Joe number 1, second printing. I have all these books. I am trying to pick up the second printings of them as well. Jurassic Park Raptor. I want to start picking up all these Jurassic Park books. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. But this one was in nice shape. I think it was still polybagged with its cards. One of these was a little stuck together. But I did put them in their own sleeves so they wouldn't get stuck in there. But happy to get that. Jurassic Park Raptor number 1. And did not know this existed. I am a massive Tron fan. This is Marvel movie adaptation. This is book 2 of 2. It's also a newsstand, which is cool. And like a lot of Marvel newsstands from that time, it is incorrectly labeled as Ultimate Tales. So I'll have to keep an eye out for part 1 of that series. Also did not know this existed, a Slave Labor Graphics Tron series. So I'll grab that as well. And then I think all we have left is manga. Some manga, guys, and that's it. So this is the last stack. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. And definitely going to try and get these hauls up more regularly, be more regular on Instagram. Just been pretty busy. Actually, that's a little too fat of a stack there. This is Alita Last Order number 3. And this is one of my favorite manga series, and if you like samurais and stuff, I can't recommend it enough. It's so good. Blade of the Immortal. It's a little hard to track with the numbering of these. You can use the UPC code or scan them into CLZ. It's just such a great series. I can't recommend it enough. They did make it into a movie. I didn't see the movie, but it didn't get the best reviews from what I remember. And then this is Ghost in the Shell Volume 2. This is book issue 7. Beautiful cover art on these. 8, 9, 10, 11, and still trying to complete this series. Getting very close. Another series I can't recommend enough. This is like maybe the greatest comic series of all time. Lone Wolf and Cub. I have almost all the mangas, so trying to get the comic versions as well. That's number 16, and then I'll end it on this one. Cover needs a little cleaning, and maybe not the best art, but I love dinosaurs, and I love girls in bikinis, so kind of figured like it was tailor-made for me. Anyway, guys, thank you again. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and I should have a new video coming up soon. Thanks a lot, guys.